guys, welcome back to the channel. I am going to be doing a video today that I didn't want to talk about this, and I actually tried to ignore it. I'm in a place right now where I'm really trying to filter the things that I allow into my mind, but so many people have been talking about this particular situation. And as I thought about this particular situation, I realized that there were a couple of things that we were missing from this conversation that I want to have. And I think I'm a good person to facilitate some of these conversations. So, as many of you know, or if you didn't know, rapper Lil Boosie is, he got a lot going on. You know, he's very infamous on his Instagram. He's known for being very vulgar, very raunchy. I'm sure we all remember the Put Your Lips on Live for $1,000 thing that he was doing. Boosie's very raw. He's a lot. He is a lot. But recently, a video has surfaced of him basically saying that he paid for, or I'm not even gonna say he paid, he got an adult woman to give his young son, underage son, and his nephews some oral. And it seems like around the time this happened, his son had to be, he was making it seem like his son was like maybe 12, 13 years old when this happened. I'm sorry, because there's so much to this. It's not even just the situation with the son. It was the entire live that was so difficult to watch. The things that he was saying, it was a lot, and I will link it below so you can hear it. So as I was saying, yes, he pretty much exposed his young, super underage son to sex very early with a grown woman, under the guise of not wanting to expose them to a lot of the homosexuality that is prevalent in our culture. This is what he felt like doing. Amongst that, he said a lot of very, very vulgar things that we're going to dig deep into. And I think we really need to have this conversation, because a lot of people are just leaving it up to, oh, well, I saw a post that said, I'd rather my son be raised by Boosie than Dwayne Wade. How about neither? He said a lot, things like, if your adolescent daughter comes here to visit my son, she might get, at one point he was saying, everybody's different. You tell your son, take her on a date. I tell my son, screw her. And mind you, meanwhile he's saying that his son is 16 years old. It was a lot. So one of the more common critiques or rebuttals that I heard to this situation with Lil Boosie was the one that I'm pretty sure most of us first think is, would you allow that to your daughters? And it's like, we don't even have to really go into that, because we know that Lil Boosie would never call a grown man to come to his house and put his mouth on his underage daughter to stop her from being, a lesbian or whatever. We know that he would never do that. So that goes without saying. Double standards exist. It's something that is very prevalent in our society. And as much as we grow and we change and we advance, we still have situations like this that come up that makes us realize that there are double standards that are still out there in the world. So that, to me, that's not even up for a debate. We know that there's a double standard. We know that he would never allow such a thing to happen to his daughter. So we know that. So Boosie was saying that he showed his sons at a very early age, how to use condoms and how to put them on. And to be honest, I don't have any issue with that. I think to each their own. Kids are exposed to a lot, and whatever we don't teach them at home, they typically get out there and learn it in the streets. So I'm not really bothered by that. If he wanted to teach his sons how to be safe, but where Boosie crosses the line, he's almost like encouraging them to start. Not almost, he actually is encouraging them to pretty much have sex. So he speaks about how his children have cell phones, his sons, and openly talks about they can go on and they can look at porn, and they can go to Pornhub and NX and, you know, all these different porn sites whenever they want, and they can look to as many as they want. I mean, he goes on and on about how he is just perfectly fine with them just sitting up for hours if they wanted to, watching porn. And it's so insane to me, because then he fuses it saying, I'd rather them do that. I have them doing that as opposed to them looking at gay characters on television. And it was so wild to me that, like, that's your solution? That, like, you could block things. You could have a talk with them. Get them more involved in church if you want to. How about modeling a healthy relationship for your son, a healthy heterosexual relationship? There are so many other alternatives that you can take, you know, if you want to instill certain values into your sons against, you know, a certain form of lifestyle before you openly encourage them to watch a bunch of porn. And what a lot of people are missing from this conversation, because a lot of people are getting caught up with this double standard. We know there's a double standard to that. Y'all know I'm not a feminist, so I mean, we know that. We beat that drum every day. But what kills me about it is, it's like you're pushing this very hyper-sexualized lifestyle on our young boys, you know? And I know personally so many men, from family members to friends from school, that grew up in these situations where they hypersexualize them and expose them to all this sex and women and butts and this and this and that. And they grew up always just being consumed by sex. Boosie says, literally, guys, and again, you could click the link in the description. He says that his sons are trained to have sex. And y'all know he used a more colorful word than that. Then I started to think about one other thing. Okay, you're training your sons to be these sex machines. Who are they having sex with? Obviously women, because you said you're exposing them to women because you don't want them to be a part of a certain lifestyle. But then we'll turn around and look at those same women, those young girls who you are pretty much sicking your sons on. They grow up, and then we wonder why they only treat themselves as just a body, you know. And it's crazy, because it's like a never-ending cycle with society. Well, why do women do this, and why do women do this, and why do women do this? But then you look at parents, and y'all, Boosie's not nearly the only parent that thinks this way. Not at all. No, you telling your son to take her out on a date. I'm telling my son to do this. I'm telling my son to do that. Okay, but then when this young girl grows up and she doesn't know any other way to communicate with a man but through the physical, then we're looking at women like, well, that's all y'all think about. All you want is money. All you want to do is use your body for this and this and that. It's like this cycle that goes on in our society. They're doing that with a girl. They're doing that with someone's daughter, someone's cousin, someone's niece. And that girl, as much as women, we try to say that it doesn't matter and we're free and we're that, at the end of the day, as humans, as male and female, we're connected. And we want to impress each other, and we want to be loved by each other, and we want companionship. A 15-year-old girl, a 13-year-old girl, she got hormones just like the boy have hormones. She has urges just like a boy has urges. And not only do these young girls, and not even just young girls, even women have these hormones. A lot of these girls, they want to fit in, you know. And I feel like I'm qualified to speak on this because I am a middle school teacher, and I've had to pull students to the side to have conversations with them like, what's up? Like why are you doing that? Or I had one student in particular, I literally had to tell her, girl, let me tell you something about these little boys. I work 7th grade. I told her, listen, girl, you're probably gonna get grown and you're not even gonna remember his name. She was at school pretty much like saying she couldn't do her work because she was so flabbergasted and flustered. Oh, the little boy. But that just goes to show you, as humans, especially young children, we all have this need to connect, and we want to feel like we fit in, and we want to be wanted. And situations like this are very counterproductive to what we're trying to do when we say that we want to be within our femininity. The thing about women is we carry life, we bring forth life into the world, but our men, you guys sustain that life for us. You know, you guys are the providers, are the protectors, are the hunters. So we have to think about what we're instilling into our young boys. And I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying that the problem starts with men. It's just about how it all flows together. That young girl that you're sicking your son on, what worth has she gotten? What has she learned about what she's worth? Then she goes off and then she's with another guy, right? Because she thought this one was gonna be good to her, or this one was gonna treat her right. Now she's off with another guy. Now she's off with another guy. And it gets so much bigger than that. We can go on and on. We can dig deeper into once these young girls bring forth life. I mean, there are men who are screwed up and have a very jilted outlook on relationships. Didn't even have anything to do with what a woman did that they were dating. It started from their mother. From what they saw their mother ran dudes in and out of the house, using them to lie while they ran off and did that. I mean, it's huge. It's so much bigger than a double standard. It's so much bigger than a fear that your son is gonna be gay. Repercussions of thinking like this, the repercussion of raising our sons like this, is way bigger than that. It's way bigger than being gay. Sex is such an emotional connection. And there are men who have been abused, men who have been molested and raped before, who are so fearful of talking about it. We have to do better. We honestly do. That's all I have for you guys today. This topic really got me worked up. Because like I said, when I thought about just the bigger picture of it, so much bigger than, you know, your son being gay. It's molestation, it's rape, it's this cycle that we just continue, that trickles in so many different ways. And I just had to make a video on this topic. Drop down below in the comments. Tell me what you guys think. Let's have a conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will check in with you guys later. Bye.